Hey, what is up guys, I'm KBHD here, and this is the final retail hardware of the OnePlus 2. Now I did do a previous video on the OnePlus 2, my first impressions video, which if you haven't already seen will be right there. That was of pre-release hardware, so this is exactly what people who buy the phone are going to be getting in the mail when they get their package. So I'm going to do an unboxing video, I haven't done one of those in a while, but also I'll go a little bit further than that, and I'm going to set this phone up as my daily driver. I'm going to put my SIM card in this thing, that's how you know it's legit, set up my first apps, put my home screen together, and basically make it my daily phone. So you get a little bit of insight on what I do when I get a new phone and I want to do that. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So the OnePlus 2 unboxing experience is obviously super simple, right? You get the phone itself, and then some paperwork, and then the charging adapter and the USB Type-C cable, which is actually really nice. It's this rubberized material and a flat anti-tangle shaped cord. So every OnePlus 2 comes with the sandstone black back, which is very similar to last year's. I'd say maybe a little bit more hard or more coarse, but the back is also removable to drop in any other materials on the back via a style swap cover. But first thing I'll do before setting up is drop my SIM card in mine. So I have a nano SIM, and the OnePlus 2 actually has support for 2 nano SIM cards, 2 SIM card slots, and I drop my SIM card in slot number 1, and we are good to go. If this was a phone with a micro SD card slot, I would also, at this point, install that too, but I basically only use those for music. Then I went through all of the setup process for signing into my Google account, and then going all through the more specific Oxygen OS specific OnePlus 2 setups, which include choosing between software and hardware buttons. I'm going to take advantage of the whole display and use the hardware buttons, and then also enabling any screen off or gestures, which you may find useful. Both of these things can also, of course, at any time be enabled or changed later in the settings. Also, I chose the Google keyboard here, although that didn't seem to work. And then I enabled Shelf, which is the leftmost home screen on the Oxygen OS launcher, which I kind of like. And then boom, we are in. Also, the OnePlus 2 comes with this pre-installed screen protector on it, but since I'm going all rogue here, I'm gonna take it off. Okay, so at this point, once I've signed into my Google account, usually it takes a minute or two while everything gets situated and starts syncing, because I have a lot of stuff in Google, calendars, contacts, etc. The phone has to pull all the stuff down. Then, of course, you got to make sure that I'm on the latest version of the OS, so this one actually did require a quick update. And then make sure you have the latest version of all the pre-installed apps that are in Google Play. Thankfully, there's pretty much no bloatware with these near-stock Android phones. That's part of what I like so much about them. But yeah, I updated everything here. And then it's just a matter of installing a few of my must-have apps. For me, the first app I install on, I want to say pretty much every phone I get, no joke, is Dropbox. I keep a lot of stuff in Dropbox, including photo samples when I'm testing a camera, and then I also like to grab wallpapers from my Dropbox and set it on the phone. And I also sideloaded the newest Hangouts 4.0 app onto this phone, which was a good opportunity to enable unknown sources and allow it to install any APK I want for future sideloading. I also went in and switched over to the Google keyboard, my favorite, since it knows my typing pretty well already, and for some reason it was still using SwiftKey even though I chose Google keyboard before, so I set that again. And then I grab a couple of my other most used apps, like Phoenix for Twitter is one, which I get a lot of questions about. Yes, I think it's one of the best Twitter apps for Android, and I do think it's worth the like $2 or whatever it costs. I also grab Pocket, which is a useful app for me when saving stuff I want to remember later. And this would also be a good time to have it stop automatically adding icons for new apps to the home screen. That's always been bugging me when I first set up a phone, so I'd uncheck that. Another app I use a lot, Spotify. I have a bunch of playlists there, and I listen to music all the time, especially when traveling, so I always grab Spotify. And another one I've been using more recently is SoundCloud, where you'll find, I guess, less popular music, but still some really great stuff. It lets me sign in with my Google account, so it's really easy. And yeah, I'll try to link my SoundCloud playlist or likes below if I can. Also, Google Calendar is like my life, so I pretty much always have a Google Calendar widget of some kind on any of my home screens. The prettiest one right now is called Today Calendar widget. It works best with some wallpapers, better than others, but it's basically a semi-transparent, or even completely transparent if you want it to be, list of all your upcoming appointments, which is super helpful for me in this agenda form. Then, of course, I like to go through the device settings itself, like setting up a fingerprint if the device has a fingerprint reader, and also specifically for the OnePlus 2, for me, setting up the home button actions to take advantage of the fact that it has a physical home button. So I use a double tap to trigger the camera, which is really quick, by the way, so that I don't have to have a camera icon anywhere on the home screens anymore, and using a long press to get into Google Now. And then, of course, since I'm triggering Google Now for the first time, setting that up real quick. I do use Google Now a lot, especially to trigger navigation, so Google Now is always nice to have. Last but not least, here's a little pro tip to help the device, even when it's brand new or not, feel even faster than it already is. Go into the device settings and About Phone and scroll down to the build number, and then tap on that build number a bunch of times until it eventually says, "You are now a developer." Then go back into the settings, and you should see a new option in the settings called Developer Options. And in here is always a whole bunch of rightfully hidden, more complex stuff that most people will never mess with, but the one I always seem to go back to play with is animation speed. And in custom ROMs like Oxygen OS here, you can choose slightly faster animation speeds throughout the OS. So like 0.75x makes all the animations on the phone take 0.75 times the time. It speeds it up a little bit. You could even choose 0.5 or even faster if you want. But overall, this makes the phone feel a lot quicker, a lot snappier. So there you have it. That's my unboxing and setting up of the OnePlus 2. Let me know what you guys want to see, especially in the full review. Basically, as I test this phone over the next week or two, hopefully we can put together a list to make this the most thorough, comprehensive review possible. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.